So yesterday I replied to a question that had been sent in about how to work with the situation of the destruction of life in the Gulf of Mexico. And I talked about it in terms of using it to increase our compassion and using it to increase our compassion and instead of falling into discouragement and hopelessness or anger, transforming it in another way so it really motivates us to practice. Then another way to use it that is in line with this is to do the taking and giving practice. So if you're looking at the all the animals, the birds and the fish and the sea life that is being damaged and killed because of the oil spill, then to do the taking and giving meditation for them and imagine taking on that suffering. That can really create a sensation of, imagine being covered with oil oneself, with petroleum. Ugh. And not only that kind of suffering, but then not having your body function normally and knowing that you're probably going to die. So thinking of the experience of the wildlife there and taking on that suffering. Using it to destroy our own selfishness. That's a very important part of the whole meditation. And then the giving part, giving our body possessions and virtue, imagining that they manifest and are sent out there as the number one way to stop the oil spill. At least we can imagine, even if we don't have the skills to be able to do it. But also to imagine helping those beings who are born in the animal realm so that they don't have an animal rebirth in the future. Okay. Now, some people may say, well, if they don't have an animal rebirth in the future, then the ecosystem's going to go out of balance and da-da-da-da-da. That's true. But here we're talking on a different level. We're talking on the level of sentient beings experiencing suffering, and to wish all those animals to be free of that suffering, and all the human beings and the birds and everybody else who's related to the whole, interplanetary ecosystem, that all of them be free of suffering and not have those kind of rebirths too. So it's not like we're trying to destroy the ecosystem with our meditation. I say this because sometimes, our mind gets quite tight. Oh, but if I do taking and giving for those beings, and what happens if they aren't born, then everybody else, born as animals, then the rest of the planet's going to suffer. No, we're not talking about that. We're really trying to use the situation to subdue our own self-centeredness and increase our love and compassion for everybody, so that none of us have a kind of rebirth in samsara subjected to aging, sickness, and death. Okay? And so if we use a current event like the oil spill in that way, then it actually becomes part of our Dharma practice, and then our mind remains hopeful, if not for the immediate resolution of this horrible situation and the stopping of these sentient beings' lives being harmed now, then at least for the future, hopeful that as we increase our ability to practice, we'll be able to benefit all these beings more directly and help them not create the karma for that, and to instead use their mind to create the cause for liberation and enlightenment. Okay. Of course, if one has the skills to go down and help with the oil spill and do something constructive, by all means do that. But I'm addressing this because somebody wrote in and said, what can I do? I don't have any ability to directly help it, and it's making me angry and upset. Okay? So if we use it this way, then our mind becomes very strong, and our determination to be a benefit becomes strong, and our mind remains hopeful.